And we are back, guys, with more content for you all. So instead of just doing DS today, we also had, on a really short notice, Nick Style and Fujo joining us to go through Nick's world record for Dark Souls 2 Scholar of the First Sin, any percent. And I think without further ado, just take it away, guys.
Hello, guys. My name is Nick Style. I am the current world record holder. I'm here today with Fujo O'Hare. Uh,
Yo,
the
so I'm also a runner for this category, and I had the wall record, but yeah,
yeah, I would say Fujo is the best runner currently.
um,
So it's a pleasure to commentate my run with this dude.
so I did some work on the route for this category, and Nick is currently doing the most up-to-date route for this category for any person.
Yeah, we have the fastest stretch to kill the Gooch Giants because of little spoilers. This run now goes to DLC.
Yeah,
So
so we can start right now, I think.
yeah, I'm starting the video. Yeah, so I think as a basic comment, the image quality for the raw video at the start is a little bit poop, but don't uh, don't worry, guys, it will get better soon. And for starters, the run goes for the same. It's bandit start with bonfire aesthetic.
Yeah, so if you're not familiar with DS2 routing, especially any percent, the reason why we pick Bandit is because he has a bow and then a hand axe, which are very good starting weapons. He also has good stats, so we don't have to do any leveling if we want to use our main weapon, the rapier. So it's basically the best start categories for the best starting class for this category.
Yeah, it's this category. We will also we have a basically a debate about doing cart soul. That is getting the item behind the wooden cart after character creation, which is a good item. There's a soul, 200 souls, and but other than that, you can get the reverse soul that gives you a homeward bone as well. But it's it sooner we'll see that there's a new thing that we call lucida 17k, and basically if you don't go for like healing or homeward, it can be like omega monka, but we should do a better commentate when the lucida 17k comes to screen.
Yeah, so at the start of the round, there's pretty much nothing to say. It's just basically starting, getting the bonfire in Medulla, of course, getting the Estus Flask to skip dialogue. And then, yeah, he's gonna pop the soul right here, because he's gonna need the 200 souls to buy a bomb for a glitch later. And yeah, I was talking about the bonfire aesthetic. So this is an item specific to DS2. So when you use a bonfire aesthetic at a bonfire, it basically resets the area into NG+. So all enemies are stronger and drop more souls. And you can use this item to revive a boss after you've defeated. And that will come in handy to farm souls later in the run, which we will explain later.
Yeah, the starting point is basically running. At this part, we are going to get the the cardinal bonfire. It's one of the hubs that we use in this category. Like we I think that we warp two times to the cardinal bonfire. One for buying
Yeah.
goods at some point, and the other to Gent Lord.
So yeah, coming up it will be two glitches. So the first one is pretty minor. It's basically it's a trick called bomb wall. So basically, we're just going to open a shortcut from the wrong side, from the opposite side, using a bomb. So the collision of the bomb will actually go through the wall, which will just break the wall and allows us to access a later part of this area. And next, Nick is going to do a very major trick that is pretty recent. So he's going to go on this little ledge right here. he's gonna jump and do some black magic. He's gonna drop here, dark sign, and boom! Just killed Pursuer. Yeah. So
Yeah, I'll pause a little bit so we can commentate better about this glitch.
so yeah, Nick, can
So
you explain what just happened?
yeah, so what happened is in that ladder there is a region box that when the character passes through that box, it starts an event with the bird and the pursuer. The bird cross some part of the game carrying pursuer, but and by dropping from that tree, it makes the bird to what we think it like the bird is unloaded and it drops pursuer. If we do the pathing like close to what I did, Lichban also showed us in the Discord server that the region where the bird will drop pursuer is close to his arena. So that's the theory that we have at this point. Like the bird will drop pursuer and it will cause pursuer to die, and then you get the ring and the souls and the 17k souls that can be only achieved through battle. But with this glitch, you can get the three items uh, and still continue the run, which is basically like an updated version of the 17k glitch. In my opinion, as a runner, it's a better glitch in Scholar because if you guys know about the this region in Scholar, you have a lot of enemies entering the bonfire room, and sometimes you get like stuck and not sitting in the bonfire because of the when you have enemies near the bonfire, you get the pop up like you cannot rest in the bonfire because of the enemies. So this version of the glitch, the Lucido 17k, makes it really optimized for Scholar compared to vanilla. It's a really cool thing. Unfortunately, we don't have like uh, we still don't have like 100% of the how it works, but it's an amazing glitch and made this route possible. It's
Yeah,
a
so
good
you
optimization.
can keep going. So
Yeah, I resumed the video.
yep. So then he's gonna buy the key and 7 bombs. So the key is to open the shop, the Leningrad shop, which is a blacksmith who's gonna sell us weapons and will allow us to upgrade weapons. And the bombs are I'll explain later, but they will come in handy in killing enemies. So he's just gonna open the shop because we're gonna come back later. And you can only talk to Leningrad in his shop if you reload the area. So it's basically a small optimization. There he's gonna buy one of the most important items in this run, the cat ring. So that's the whole reason why we do this glitch is that the cat ring is quite expensive. It's 13,400 souls, very expensive. So he's also gonna buy some homeward bones and some alluring skulls. So he's gonna keep some souls for later. But yeah, this route is pretty tight on souls, so that's why we that's why we keep souls for later. And
Yep.
then he's gonna kill this lizard right here who's gonna drop some upgrading material. Unfortunately, fails the kill.
Yeah. Unfortunately, I missed the right thing, the right setup. Basically, you should do a running R1 and then a jump attack. But since I missed the jump attack, I need to wait a little bit. So to get the kill while the lizard is in the ground. If I run straight to do the plunge, I would miss the attack. It's a small time loss, but I think it's like 10 seconds time loss for the next Reki could save.
So yeah, so the main question here is why are we in the gutter? Like we don't have we have a very bad weapon. We have a +0 axe. We have no level, so why are we here? The main reason is why we're here is to go to the gutter, which is the next area. To go to the gulch, sorry, and to get some branches and some dung pies. So the dung pies are items that inflict toxic to the enemies, which will come in handy in killing some enemies later. And we're gonna pick up the branches, which are essential to the run. If we don't have enough branches, we cannot progress through the run. So we have to pick up both of these branches.
Yeah,
Yeah, so next up is gonna be a complicated part of the run, even more complicated, in my opinion, than 17K. So gonna run through here, dodging the poison, nothing too crazy, very classic. And Nick is gonna use a bomb on the oil puddle right here to kill an enemy. So the reason he goes for this is to get rid of the hand creature you just saw. It's gotta hopefully die. Sometimes, oh yeah, he got unlucky. And we,
yeah,
we need to get rid of this enemy so that we can kill an NPC invasion. Because when you're invaded by an NPC, you cannot bone away. And we have to bone away pretty soon. So yeah,
yeah.
he's
I
gonna.
think that if I remember correctly, I think that the NPC SD. Yeah,
Yeah, so that's an interesting glitch. Sometimes if you stay in that corner, we don't really know why, but the NPC is just stupid and kills himself. And
yeah,
yeah, here comes the part that I rerouted. So initially, the man who routed this TSU, very very good runner, who he was only killing with firebombs. But that what had one issue is that firebombs are quite expensive. So what I my idea was to use dung pies and firebombs because dung pies are actually very very efficient at killing those giants because they get intoxicated very fast. So yeah,
yeah,
3 dung pies. He takes 1,000 damage or something. It's really really convenient.
yeah. Dunk pies are really good, but if you miss one, you it's a reset because two isn't enough. Two aren't enough to get the toxic should trigger. So you need to hit all three dunk pies in order to the poison to take effect.
Yeah.
It's a really good strat, and
Yeah,
but
and also one thing you will notice is that he only has the resources to kill one giant,
yeah,
and we will explain that in a second. Yeah, so killing this giant is extremely difficult. He basically two-shots you, extremely high damage, and yeah, he just finishes with a few hand axe swings and quit out. So yeah, a quit out in DS2 is very strange because it loses a ton of time. Because DS2 is timed RTA without load, so the timer still goes on in the menu. So that's a very big time loss. But the reason we do this is that there is a glitch here. Yeah, if you kill only one of the giants, you get the key drop. So normally in normal gameplay, you have to kill both giants to get both keys. But here, if you just kill one giant and quit out, you get the key. So what is this key for? This key is to open a door to get another key to the DLC.
yeah. There's some type of door that are opened by the forgotten key, and it's kind of Monka that that they hide DLC one key behind this kind of door. But yeah, uh, this killing the giant this way makes the thing so much better. Like even if you watch how bosses Keka runs for Scholar, you're gonna watch that we had a it's still it's a difficult fight. Those giants are insane. Even with 12 ADP or even with a good weapon, those giants can kill your run. Like if you don't pay enough attention, it's
Yeah.
super scary.
So yeah, if you're familiar with DS2 speedruns, you probably know that in vanilla you get this key right away at the start. So for many years we thought that getting this key right here for the DLC was too slow. But yeah, with this route we are basically much faster than anything we had before because back then, before this route was created, we would typically go around in the game, not go into DLC, but pick up ascetics, the bonfire ascetics in other areas. But now we only have to go to DLC, which is super super fast. It's faster by at least 2 minutes. We don't have a definite answer because it's very hard to time because you get to the middle of the game faster than the previous route, but then your damage is a little bit worse. So timing this is like yeah, pretty bad. So yeah, we get
Yeah,
even more Hamad bones. Yeah, and yeah,
yeah. Now comes a really scary part, but I made a mistake during this part. I unfortunately I only had four alluring. I'm thinking about buying five next time, but using only one alluring school, you need this ball sack dudes to hit the Rosabeth three times to get the poison, but I got like the dude with the poison weapon only hit Rosabeth twice, so I missed the kill, which will cause that which will result that I will have a one less GPR for a
Yeah.
fight. It's kind of frustrating, but yeah, that was okay, I guess.
So yeah, what I was saying earlier about being tight on souls is that this route only works if you have enough souls to buy gold pine resins, which are like basically buffs that put the lightning damage on your right hand weapon. And
Yeah,
these buffs are essential to the route. And as you can see, Nick has 16,300 souls, which is not enough to
almost.
buy 11. We'll only be able to buy 10, which is going to be a time loss. And
Yeah,
yeah, he did
but
everything perfectly. He only missed one NPC kill, which is, yeah, very
yeah.
unfortunate.
Yeah, but if you, I think Rosabeth gives you 100 and like
1,300.
1,300 or 500. I can't remember properly,
It's
but
1,300 for
yeah,
sure.
you can get 5 other rings then, which is sad, but yeah, that's okay. I think
Yeah,
that
you don't have many resources the
yeah,
start.
I think missing the skill is like a time loss in one fight, but I think it's okay. Not that
Yeah.
big of a deal.
So there he
Maybe
dark signed as he was talking to the NPC.
yeah.
It's pretty useful technique, but requires you to menu relatively fast. And then he's gonna pick up the RTSR, which you probably know for knowing other games such as DS1. So the RTSR boosts your damage by only 20% in this game, I think, which is not a great buff, but still very useful. And yeah, Dark Sign again, because he has 0 souls, he doesn't care about losing his souls.
Yeah.
And we're gonna go back to the Gulch, this time with a good weapon.
A good
And
weapon and some Monka rings.
yeah, and we are going to set up RTSR in a pretty Monka way.
Old school way, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
that
yeah,
part is
what
good.
is really smart about this route? I wasn't the one behind everything in this route. Is that we reuse some knowledge from very old runs. So yeah, setting up Artisa with his fire is something you will not see in many routes. Yeah, pretty scary. You have to watch for the boss and set it up at the same time. And the hitboxes for the fire are pretty bad. So yeah,
Yeah, they
as
are
you can see,
mega bad.
Rotten, very big damage with only a +4 weapon. So yeah, pretty nice.
Yeah, made a bad positioning this fight during the start, but I think that the rest of the fight went okay. I would say not the best, but okay.
Yeah. So yeah. Oh yeah, you got fist slams. Fist slams are very bad. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah.
And there is one bad thing about the only issue I have with this part in this run is like you exit Rotten with like 1 HP. So in DLC 1, there's a lot of enemies that can randomly shoot you, and you basically die because you can't tank a hit. And if you miss, there is a jump called Photoshop jump that if you miss by some reason that I still don't know, you take a huge ton of damage of fall damage if you miss the jump. So with the RTSR HP from Rotten, you could carry this HP until the bonfire or even later in the round, but in this part. But it will be such a like it will be a risk that
Yeah.
for the current Reki, I wasn't sure if I want to take that risk. So I decided using a life gem after Rotten 1,
Yeah.
which
So
was
it can
okay.
seem like a very like big time loss to use a life gem here, but you gotta remember that Nick had to do Lucidus 17k, which is really reset
Yeah,
heavy. Sometimes you only get it 1 in 15 runs. And then once you get Lucidus 17k, you gotta kill the invader in Gulch, which is RNG, because sometimes he doesn't kill himself and you have to push him off the ledge. But he's an NPC and he will sometimes roll away or lose you a lot of time. And then you have to kill the Gulch Giants, which is also very hard. And yeah, very good
yeah.
jump from Nick.
Yeah, that was the Photoshop, my version of Photoshop that I don't know why, but I can't do the jump without turning the camera. Still, good thing. It was
So
a good
yeah,
jump.
one of the reasons why we pick the banner is for the bow, which is going to be extremely useful in this area. There are a lot of switches to hit. Normally, I think it's intended for you to hit them with a melee weapon, but you can hit them with a bow. So starting out with a bow right away really saves you some time, because otherwise you
Yeah,
would have to get the bow from somewhere else, such as the
learning
chest
rests.
in Majula, or yeah. So
Yeah.
you,
And there is also another thing. Since this is a scholar of the first scene, there is a 5% chance with a scale of Forlorn to randomly invade you in DLC 1. Thanks God that if I remember correctly, I wasn't invaded by Forlorn, but I was doing what Fujo suggested me, that is not using the souls of Rotten, because if you can get invaded by Forlorn in DLC 1 in three different spots. You can get like right after the bonfire, the tower bonfire. You can get invaded by Forlorn during the switch room, and you can get invaded in the same room as you get the gank squad key. So those three locations uh, basically result in you having to SD and in order to warp away. And not using the souls make you don't lose that much of levels after DLC 1. It is a good backup. And
yeah. So Nick just picked up in the chest the Flint ring, which is a completely OP ring, which is one of the reasons why the DLC route is so fast. Basically, Flint's ring, gives you an insane amount of extra damage on melee, of your melee weapons. So yeah, and yeah, now he's gonna pick up the gang key. So we're not technically gonna fight gang squad, but we're gonna go in the area before gang squad to pick up some items. So yeah, this
yeah.
part pretty scary.
Dude, this part in vanilla, I don't know why. I'm so unlucky with the ghosts, but in Scholar is so like clean. But in vanilla, I get hit by this ghost every single time, dude.
Yeah, it's pretty easy to get unlucky with this ghost, like to go for the wrong stamina and get completely
Yeah.
ruined.
Yeah, this part is kind of concerning. You run through you run across the bridge holding block in order to pray for a better attack. And then I managed to do it without taking hits, which is good. If I got the charge attack, I probably be dead. You use an alluring skull here in order to bait those two witches, because they can get you in the ladder. But yeah, it was a clean part. I think that I went for a healing here because of a Baldur, but I'm not sure. Yes, I did.
Yeah. So in
Oh,
comparison, I run the exact same route around the same time as Nick, and I got invaded by Fallen 2 times in my run, which lost me about 30 seconds. So you can really see how inconsistent this route is, and how like lucky you gotta get.
yeah. This NPC Baldur is just one of the major reset points in my opinion, because you gotta he can if you use an you we use an item in order to bait this he uses this
The Lloyd Talisman.
yeah, this talisman, which is the best thing that he can do. Like if he uses the talisman, you are basically set to use a guard break into R1. But sometimes if you spam R1, he will roll, and like you're basically screwed. So this dude is RNG heavy, even with a okay setup.
Yeah, even if you don't get invaded by Fallen, this yeah, the NPC RNG in this run is quite heavy. So there he picked up some bright bugs, which are very big, very huge buffs. He also picked up
No.
some extra bonfire ascetics. So now he has 4 bonfire ascetics. Unfortunately, yeah, he had to go around. Yeah, very, very lucky.
Yeah, that was a lucky move, dude. Like I got hit by the sword attack that almost never gets me, and then the bonk missed me by like frames. That was concerning.
Yeah. So now that he's full in souls, he's gonna buy the sisters, which we'll explain later, some life gems, and some even more bright bugs. So bright bugs give you 20% extra melee damage and 20% extra defense, but we don't care about defense. Yeah, we care about defense, but not in most fights. We're also gonna get some levels. So we're gonna get 14 vigor and a lot of endurance. So 14 vigor is to survive the being poisoned.
Yeah, it's basically to get a best RTSR setup for rotten fights.
Yeah. And the extra endurance is gonna allow us to get like really, really big combos with the rapier. Because rapier doesn't have like huge base damage, but if you combine if you manage to get like 3 hits, you get like that you get like basically the best damage in early game possible. Yeah, so here he's gonna revive the rot, as I explained. And yeah, so what do you go for here? Okay, you equip. Yeah, he also got the covetous silver serpent ring from Elantia,
Yeah,
which
I had to.
gives you extra souls. So really a essential item in this route.
Yeah, I had to skip the GPR. That's why I made a
Yeah,
extra movement back there because I remember to not use GPR during when I was dropping the thing.
so
That
yeah,
was a small time loss, but
yeah, it's
still.
gonna be pretty big time loss, I would say. So
Yeah, the
no
fight,
GPR fight is gonna be extremely slow, even though you can see you can
the
see
damage is
that
good.
yeah, Flynn's RTSR plus 4 rapier, yeah. Rotten 2, NG plus boss is still pretty weak compared to our
Yeah.
build.
Oh,
Ah,
dude, the
yeah,
whiff.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, when she just walked backwards, yeah. And she doesn't always I mean it, the boss, doesn't always have the same speed when she backs up like this, yeah. So but
Yeah.
yeah, this part of the run is basically, yeah, farming. So the reason why we farm Rotten is to get to 1 million soul memory. The soul memory takes into memory your all the souls you got in your run. Basically, even if you spend souls, it doesn't decrease. So we want to get that number to 1 million. And the fastest way to do this is to farm 5 rottens. So yeah, 4 bonfire ascetics. And yeah. Now
Yeah.
he's gonna stack all the buffs. So yeah, Bright Bug, GPR, Flynn's, and RTSR. Yeah. Nice roll, nice roll.
Yeah, this fight is if I remember correctly, this fight was good, dude. This fight was good.
Yeah.
The opening
Already
was
an
good.
uncut. Yeah.
Yeah, the opening was good. The follow up was good. The attacks. I think that he is going to explode now, but yeah. But the opening was like amazing.
Yeah,
This
you
fight
really
was not
want
bad.
Rotten to attack a lot because first of all, it gives you an open for an attack naturally, and you also get counter damage. And the rapier has this special property of having extra counter damage. So you only ever want to hit Rotten after an attack. So there's some patterns where you don't have a lot of hits available, such as the AoE or the grab. So yeah, Rotten RNG is really heavy. You can lose your a lot of time. But
Yeah.
yeah, we still have 2 Rottens to go.
Yeah, that's one of like the difference between routes. Like in the previous route, we used to get the Tildara set and kill 4 rottens instead of 5. But
Yeah, because we
we
were
don't get the
killing all the bosses, we had enough souls basically.
yeah.
But now that we're only basically killing Rottens, yeah, we don't have much choice. We
Yeah,
have to do go for 5.
yeah. But even if we take the Tildara set, would make it any difference because of like 4 with Soldora wasn't 1 million, and like 5 without Soldora is more than 1 million. So it doesn't make difference getting Soldora or not in this
Yeah,
route.
the
So
Sonder set is a set when you wear it, you get more souls.
yeah,
You have to kill an NPC to get it. So yeah. Yeah, one more rotten to go. Yeah, this is why some people pretty much dislike this route because you have to do some like very annoying tricks at the start, like all
yeah,
the NPC kills, 17k, the giants, and then on top of that, you have to kill the rotten 5 times in RTSR range. So yeah,
yep. And pay attention because at some point I will get the smash. and like my feet would be like over the fire, but I'll not take any fire damage. It would
Yeah, the
be
fire hitboxes are atrociously bad. I don't know why. I don't know how they did it, but the hitboxes don't make much sense. You
yeah, it
can
would be
walk on
a
fire, don't take any damage. You can walk in an area where there's no fire and take a lot of, and take fire damage.
yeah. But I'm now that I'm watching the fight, I'm mega happy that I did the gunner punish twice. Was a good thing.
Yeah. So yeah, one thing about this round, uh, but yeah, any person in general is that we often start with bandits, and bandit doesn't have a lot of iframes in his role because yes, in DS2, iframes on rolls are tied to stats. And yeah, rolling this grab is actually very, very hard. Yeah, some top runners don't even go for it, and Nick has Nick is brave enough to go for it, which is really, really good,
Yeah,
as you could see, because he can get two R1s on the cleaver arm.
yeah. That was not the best fight, but was okay. Managed
So
to
yeah,
survive.
an important information to know here is that 26 minutes, he's at rotten 5. And if you compare that even to the best rotten times in the previous route, you're like 1 minute behind. So yeah, this route is actually the
Oh,
early
mega
game is
good.
insanely fast. And now he's popping all his souls got from the rotten. So when you're in NG plus and NG plus plus, etc., you get an extra soul from the rotten and the basic soul. So you pop these to get to 1 million, and now he's going to spend all his souls in 2 levels. So he's going to get 18 vigor, a lot of endurance, 40 strength, 40 dex, and 8 ADP. So we don't want too much vigor. We don't need too much vigor at all, but we don't want too much to be able to set up RTSR in some places. And we also get we get max endurance because we want a huge we want a lot of endurance for rapier and another weapon we're gonna use later. And yeah, 40 strength, 40 dex gives you the best optimal damage with rapier and the other surprise weapon we're gonna use later. And
Yeah,
8 ADP is to be able to roll the attacks from some late game bosses such as Velstadt and Throne Duo. Because otherwise, rolling is basically impossible with 3 ADP. You don't have enough frames. Yeah.
yeah. That 880p, dude. It's so like, it's in my opinion, it's like a mega placebo. It's a I don't know, dude. Sometimes I feel like 880p or 380p doesn't really matter. Like I think
It
that
matters on some attacks, depending on your
yeah,
timing. Because
yeah,
obviously, you can roll some stuff with 3 ADP, but it becomes so precise that it's actually stupid. And the thing is, you don't even getting extra levels, like in Vigor or even Strength or Dex, doesn't really matter.
yeah,
So yeah, and it would be a really bummer to lose your run to Strum Duo, you know?
yeah,
Because yes, the problem with these two we have often is that yes, we can go super fast if we want, but it's so inconsistent because of RNG that we have to get viable routes. We have to get peach levels. We have to get healing items everywhere because yeah, the game is RNG at its core.
yeah. At this point, it's like the second half of the run. And then, in my opinion, this part is basically straightforward. Like you enter a new area, get RTSR, run to the boss, and kill the boss. In my opinion, the Scholar is much easier than Vanilla in the late game. I think that's
Yeah,
why it's easier to have confidence at this point. Like,
yeah. Drunglake Castle is extremely inconsistent in the vanilla version because the elephants enemies you can see actually aggro until the gate. Which makes this part a little concerning if the enemies don't cooperate. And you have some extra. The enemy placement is extremely awful in vanilla.
yeah,
Um,
and Scholar also has what we call Doom Door, which makes the thing omega confier compared to Vanilla.
yeah. It's very consistent to vanilla. So there he's gonna use a weapon which is called the Sisters, which is which inflicts blunt damage instead of thrust damage. And the thing is, even though it's the +0 Sisters, as you will be able to see, the damage is extremely huge because of the buffs. Yeah, we just two-shot this enemy with a
Yeah,
+0 weapon. Yeah,
RTSR Flynn's sisters with A scaling in strength and 40 strength is omega good.
yeah. So this is like extremely old routing strategies. But yeah, it's really cool. It's really weird to see it in Scholar after all these years because in the older route we don't use Sisters at all. We only ever use Rapier basically throughout the entire run.
Yeah. One thing that people don't mention that often is the reason why when using sisters you have the bow on the left hand. It's because you can actually power stance sisters with your fist. So if, in Dark Souls 2 you have a thing that you should have the right hand position before opening doors, like having your two handing your weapon or two handing left hand to have a faster door animation. In this case, if you have like the sisters in your hand, you would power stance, and power stancing is one of the lowest animation ever. That's why you use a bow, so your character doesn't have like the power stance animation.
Yeah.
That's a cool thing to mention.
Yeah, we're not gonna use the Sisters because all +4 Rapier has better damage. Really depends on which enemy. Yeah. So yeah. Again, an Artisa fight. Yeah. So classic things. We baited the enemy with the bow, the left Dragon Rider, and now we're just gonna finish the other one. No problem.
Yeah, the dude gave me a shield in the second cycle, which was sad, but not a problem.
Yeah. So no, yeah, the routing is there is no more routing basically, other than
Yeah,
yeah the Sisters and the key we're gonna explain. Yeah, yeah the rest of this game is just a straight line.
yeah. This part is still, it's kind of monka. I don't think that I'm sharp with this part because like +4 isn't enough to R1 the ghost, and with +4 GPR you have more damage than what you like to kill you. If
Oh
you do
yeah,
R2
there's a
R1, you
setup I
kill
do here.
the
Uh,
mannequin. It's confusing, dude. This part I still need to practice a little bit, but I think that
yeah.
this doing an R2 and then R2 inside the room is the best at this point. I think this
So
is
I
the
don't know if you watch TSU's run online, but there is a cool thing you can do here. So basically, you toggle your rapier to not have GPR anymore, the GPR buff,
yeah, okay.
and you can do R1 R2 on the mannequins, and you will still be able to kill the mannequin with your bow.
An arrow?
Yeah,
Nice. That's nice, actually.
yeah. So there, he's just gonna set up anti-sound with full damage. There we go, perfect.
Yeah, that was a good setup. I never. It bugs me when like I remember when running for the recce back in the day, like earlier this year. I didn't know about like the arrow backup. So if I missed the this RTSR setup, I would be like, "No, my run is dead." And then I realized, like watching Jeff and Sudo, that you could tank a hit from the archer, and then like all my like my brain just like was mind blowing learning this backup. But yeah, I don't know, dude. I think that the jumping setup for RTSR is good enough.
Yeah, it really depends on your health range.
Yeah.
So yeah, pretty long elevator, a DS2 classic, DS2 special.
Yeah, some runners use this elevator as a pee break.
Yeah,
Shout
so
out to shout out to Reknaps and Kawhi.
yeah, some other also use the mana elevator. Depends.
Yeah.
No. There's one pain in DS2 is late game is filled with elevators. It's like you're basically you're so scared because you got a run going. You get have a lot of time save, and the game is just so slow.
Yeah. I wish we had an elevator skip.
We have one in old patch.
Yeah.
Yeah, so now he's gonna use the Sisters against Mirror Knight. So again, it's a pretty old It's a pretty old routing thing. You can see in runs from 4 years ago. But yeah, he's just gonna melt Mirror Knight with GPR and RTSR. So just buff inside the fight, bait an attack, and the fight is scripted. Yeah.
Yeah, this fight is a bit concerning because the second attack that you do, like you bait in the first, you do two attacks. The second attack can and cannot, like it can be a counter, but it not always be a counter. If you get a counter, you can finish the fight with three attacks. If you don't, you need to finish with four. And it took me some time to realize that, but yeah, having the counter is faster. But I don't know, like if it's a timing issue, but sometimes you get it, sometimes you don't. Yeah, I also hope that they do that they wash their hands.
And wash skip. Yeah, pretty monka. So now he's coming Nick's Nick's greatest enemy, Shrine of Amana.
Yeah,
And there is something special about Amana in this route. Is that you don't have current fearing. So normally in most routes with Scholar, you pick up current fearing because it's in Shadeways, it's underway, it's not a time loss. But yeah, you don't have current fearing. So what does this mean? Yeah, you don't have a lot of stamina anywhere. So if you get hit, if you get slowed down, if you use too much stamina, you're in trouble compared
yeah,
to the other routes. So yeah, it takes a lot of skill and luck to get through this area cleanly. Yeah, we're gonna use a lot of jumps to not get slowed down by water. And yeah, these the enemy placement in this area is random. Like these knights are random. You never get the same thing. Yeah, a poke, very unlucky. You cannot roll that. So
yeah. You cannot normally roll a poke. You can only roll a poke with like angling the enemy, which is sometimes not worth it. But yeah, this part in Shrine of Amana is basically like
yeah,
this a
it's
cemetery, a graveyard for runs.
and one routing thing I was talking about earlier is that yes, late game is slow compared to Scholar, not just because of no, compared to the previous routes, not just because of the damage, but also because of stamina regeneration. Because stamina regeneration in DS2 without Chloranthi, without Green Blossom, it's so slow,
Yeah,
and it loses you a lot of time.
yeah. You need to take some time. Like I don't know,
Oof.
dude. It's you get you get a little bit slower doing this path, but it's enough. So you have to deal with like one round of soul arrows, and it doesn't fit as well as the previous route. But still, this
Yeah, so
part
yeah,
is
he's gonna go for YOLO mana there. It's a strat where you bait the enemies, including the mage, and go straight for the frog gate. And he makes it through no big problem. Yeah.
yeah.
So the
I
reason
did
why he puts on the set is because yes, it slows you down, but you can actually poise through the damage, especially the soul arrows. Yeah, go
yeah.
go on, Nick.
Back there, I did kill the archdrake in the corridor, which in my opinion is the scariest one. But yeah, that was if I remember correctly, I will show the reason why we used the set in this part of Amana. Basically, because of I have built enough staggers so I can tank this hit without having the without canceling my animation in the door. So and puts me into RTSR range. That
They,
was a that was a smart move in my opinion.
yeah. So yeah,
Yeah,
setting up Artisar in this area, yeah, really, really scary.
yeah, it is.
And yeah, this boss is also a joke. So this boss has one opening that's almost consistent, but it also has a secret opening where it just jumps at you immediately. And yeah,
Yeah,
that's basically rip run. So you can
yeah,
tank one if you have a high artist arm, but it loses you so much time. Yeah, it's basically a reset at top
yeah,
level.
yeah. I already lost a lot of runs to the jumping opening. Frustrating.
And yeah, the last scary part of a mana, this knight.
Oh, this night, dude.
Yeah, Fortunately, we can kill him in 2 hits, but sometimes his attacks are a little too fast and you get hit and just die. So by
Yeah.
killing uh, Demon of Song right here, we got a weapon called the Key of the Embed. So it is a key which you can use to open doors, but it is also a weapon. And the thing is, it's actually much better than a +4 rapier. So it's actually gonna be our main weapon from now on. Like, thank you the devs for putting it right here. Really good weapon.
Yeah. A really, really good weapon.
So yeah, you can see Nick using bright bugs for this part of the run. And you might be thinking, yeah, how is he gonna deal with late game? Well, basically we're gonna buy more bright bugs at some point. It's not even gonna be slow.
Yeah, this part I think that the this RTSR range is also not the thing that you wish, because I could at this part I could die to one of these lightning attacks, and I could also I think that I would die to a poison the poison
Yeah.
moss, I guess it's how it's called. But yeah, I got lucky and dodged the lightning, and also didn't have any poison thing, so was
Yeah.
a really good pathing.
The room with the mages is one of the scariest part in the whole run because you want to be in RTSR range. That's the fastest option. But if you're on RTSR range, you can just die to their AOE attacks. Yeah,
Yeah,
just breaking the rocks, running through the rocks, nothing too crazy. And yeah, no, the bow skip, the classic.
yeah. I don't know why, but like this is a cool thing. I think like shooting on the like in the corner of the room
Yeah,
behind the double shooter dude makes the dude like, oh, something made some noise. Let me check, and then you pass through the dude with no worries.
yeah. So there's a lot of enemies in this corridor. A lot of mages, a lot of knights. But we can just go to the right, no problem.
Yeah,
And now he's gonna equip the Key of the Embed, which has the moveset of a greatsword, or an ultra greatsword. I don't exactly remember what it's called, but yeah, this moveset is extremely powerful.
yeah. It's does a lot of damage.
Just buff in the room, extra disrespect. It's actually faster. Boom, boom, insane damage.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I got good RNG as well. If the dude didn't backstep, I think that this fight would be like near
you.
perfect.
I think, yeah, you messed up a little. Oh no, you didn't. It was one of the older runs. Yeah, he got an
Yeah,
optimal fight. Eight R2s, very optimal.
yeah. That was a really good fight.
So yeah, we just pick up the King's Ring, which will allow us to progress through the run.
Yeah, I wish somebody someday gets the audio skip, so we have like we don't have to run through Amana anymore. Uh, that is still the part that we should like. It's still a scary part, but it's another like run until you get an item kind of part. Like this previous part, like Mirror Knight, Shrine of Amana, Undead Crypt is basically a thing, a path that you run in order to get the King's Ring. Now we do a run until getting the Ashen Mist Heart. It's still like a quest to get an item. It's another key item that uh, gets in your way to progress the main story, but it's not like as long as the Dragon Lake plus Shrine of Amana plus Undead Crypt. And this cyanide, I'm setting the RTSR for the next boss fight. Still, this part is way easier than the previous one. But at this point, like you are almost ending the run, your heart is beating fast. Any major mistakes you do could cost the run. So even if it's easier, it's still like not an easy thing, I would say. Mainly because the next boss it's like has an kind of RNG opening. Like you can lose a lot of time just because you enter the fight. So
Oh yeah,
and
the a classic skip,
yeah,
just run
the
left.
2021 skip, almost 2022. Yeah, this part
So
is so like I don't know, dude. It's straightforward. You basically run, you get yourself the key, and you bait the attacks. This item is a good backup. It's 2 radiant life gems, but we don't get it. We don't get this item anymore.
yeah, so we can just roll through these guys.
Yeah. One thing that I didn't, I started doing after watching some Mighty runs is doing the roll and the door in order to dodge the stagger. It's a cool tech.
Yeah, so now Golden Dragon is just gonna burn with our insane build.
Yeah, this fight is concerning, dude. Like this, the Guardian Dragon can like straight up fly like 10% of the times, but what we do is like a position. Like we basically we are baiting the Guardian Dragon with our position and our attacks. Like we open the fight doing 3 headshots with the key, and then moving in a way that Guardian Dragon needs to rotate in order to hit us with the head attack, and then you are free to punish his legs with R2s. That's enough to kill Guardian Dragon. It's a really good it's a really good fight. It's a cool
Yeah.
thing, but still sometimes can basically kill your run. Whoever came up with rolling after Foggate, yeah. There's another set. There's some walking setups as well, but for me, rolling is the thing that works. Dennis.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Golden Dragon is basically an AI manip, just like Mirror Knight. It's basically you always get the same opening, almost always, and then you just have to do a specific thing, and you always get the same attack. So yeah, vanilla runners in shambles as we just go up this ladder, which is exclusive to Scholar. You can just
Yeah.
skip this area entirely,
Yeah, this
thanks
part
to.
is super hard, dude. Like, imagine missing the zip line.
Oh, you're not even sprinting on the zip line. What the fuck?
I was sprinting at the zip line.
Oh, yeah, but you don't oh, yeah, you want auto running. Okay. I always use auto run on this one.
Oh no, I do hold circle.
Yeah.
Yeah, this part is
Yes,
the
part
yeah
is one of the scariest as well.
yeah
Not anymore. It used to be a pretty huge, run killer, but we have
yeah.
some manips.
I am a mega confident in this part. I don't do the pitching. I don't do attacks. I just run straight forward. This part is I do like this part of the run. So here, like some runners do an attack in the hand thing. So like to bait this giant soldier, I just run to the soldier and open the door. I don't know if it's timing thing, but it's a cool strat in my opinion.
Yeah, he went for the optimal pathing there on this night.
Yeah,
And then, yeah, the corridor of death, you basically have enemies blocking you, and it can be really awkward.
yeah. If this
But
dude,
are you doing you're not even doing the jumping. Oh, yeah.
yeah, I'm
So,
not confident with the jump. I don't, I
I
don't, I
I
don't do it.
you should try it, but at this point, yeah.
Yeah,
I think running is faster it's faster anyway because you get slowed down after the jump. So, yeah.
yeah.
Very clean from Nick. A very well-deserved gold there.
Yeah, that dragon gives you the action mist heart, which makes able to enter some giant memories. But one cool joke I have about this thing. The other day I was talking with Pseudo, and Pseudo was playing vanilla, and I said, "Oh, you were doing the no zip line jump," and Pseudo Pseudo started making fun, like, "Oh, dude, you were actually scholar runner," because I said the no zip line jump for the ID skip.
Yeah, so there Nick bought extra bread bugs because he didn't send back the merchant. So the merchant was still there selling very cheap bread bugs because yeah. And he also used an alluring skull to bait the enemy because the enemy has the tendency to just attack you during this skip you just saw. And yeah, this skip also gives you a huge fall damage, which just helps us set up Artisan. A very scary
Yeah.
giant. Yeah.
In a scholar, those giants are way worse than compared to vanilla. Oh, dude, that opening was terrible, dude. Giant Lord was doing something that
Yeah,
I
you're
can't.
gonna get a 3-cycle fight. You can get a 2-cycle there, but you gotta get the right opening. But yeah.
Yeah, you can get a choose cycling the Giant Lord is like Omega Fest.
Yeah, exactly what Lichman said. It's a pretty obscure thing about the S2. But yeah, if you don't send back Majula, if you don't send back Melancha to Majula and don't visit Majula, the price will reset. And yeah, Nick is really, as you can see in the video, he's really happy about.
Yeah, dude,
Yeah.
it's because the my previous PB I lost, like I died to the Giant Lord jump, dude. So I had to. At this point, my heart was beating fast, man. My heart was racing, and I was saying something like, "Oh, dude, if I get the bad opening, I don't care. I will peach. I use life gems. I don't care, dude."
Yeah. So there he used Brightbug and GPR at this gate, which is faster than using it before the fight. Yeah, it's a really cool optimization.
Yeah.
And he also equipped the pants there. So yeah, those are really cool looking pants, but they actually have a purpose. Can you explain, Nick?
I actually don't know the purpose. I know why we keep
Okay.
it, but I don't know the purpose.
So yeah, because I am a scholar of the first in nerd, I don't I don't have the clear answer, but yeah, basically those pants give you extra poise and extra
Yeah,
resistance
yeah.
to the damage of duo. Because the strat for duo is to basically tank damage.
Yeah, but one thing that I know about the pants is because you're holding the key, you are above 10% of equip load. So if you equip the pants, it doesn't actually matter because you're still below 20%, and the pants give you some things like
Yeah,
resistance.
the poise doesn't do anything, but like I was talking about more the damage resistance.
Yeah. Yeah, so this fight was so bad. I had better shooting
Yeah.
RNG, and I pitched one life gen, and at this point I didn't know where Watcher was, so I decided backing up
Oh
to
yeah,
another life
dude.
gen.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I lost like a lot of time in this part, but my GPR will run out. That's why I know that this fight is Omega trash.
Yeah, so the strat for early GPR is pretty scary because if you get a bad RNG like Nick, or if you just slow down, yeah, don't have a buff anymore. Yeah.
Yeah, but at the end of the fight was okay. Like it was bad. I lost some time, but
An improvable record. Yeah, it's clearly unbeatable.
yeah. I do hate when you have a good run that you lost and then you lose a lot of time to watch your defender. It's so frustrating, but it was okay. I was nervous at this point,
Yeah.
so I
So
didn't
there
want
he's
to.
just gonna, yeah, scripted fight for Mishandra. He just baits a laser with the life gem, and then yeah, he's always gonna do this if you do the right thing.
Yeah,
Very straightforward. And GG world record.
yeah, it was a good fight. It was a good Nash fight, and dude, I was with I had below 12 life gens, dude.
So yeah,
Imagine
as you can
imagine
see,
fighting a Chandra with all 12 life gens, dude.
yeah. So yeah, this run is really impressive because yeah, this is the new route. As you can see, there are a lot of small time losses everywhere. It's not perfect, but yeah, first ever sub 53,
Yeah.
and yeah, this route is just too powerful.
Yeah,
And
there
yeah,
is still a lot of room to improvement. As you saw, I missed the lizard. I also got bonked in DLC one. So like route one, I think that like the rest of the run was good. There wasn't a part that I say, oh no, dude, I lost a lot of time here. Of course, like the lizard cost me like something like 10 seconds. The DLC one also like uh something close to 10 seconds, but still the rest of the run was good execution. I think that this run is okay. It's not a bad run, it's not a bad recce, but still this run isn't unbeatable. And I invite you all to try running Scholar any percent at some point.
yeah. So one crazy thing is that at the start of November, world record was 54.18. So I beat the world record with a 53.44, which was the first ever sub 54. So I thought, yeah, this is very cool. But then, start of December, yeah, what happens? Nick gets the first ever 53, sub 53. Yeah. Pretty crazy time for Scholar.
Yeah.
Hi guys, thank you so much. It's very cool to see the rapid improvements that have been happening in Scholar recently, and at least I think following the Scholar tournaments, really cool to see some of the changes that were made, especially in the early game. Like the late game is basically the same always in Scholar and Vanilla, apart from enemy positions. But yeah, it's cool to see how far the category has gotten, and I hope it will continue to improve. Who knows? Maybe we'll see a sub 52 someday, but that's going to be one hell of a run, I think.
Yeah. I think that sub 52 it's possible, but it's a hard thing to achieve. But I think that sub 52 maybe goes above like execution, and you would need a little bit of RNG.
Yeah, a
Get
little
it?
bit of RNG, and I think also some to actually break that barrier, we probably need some small optimizations in places, some fresh
Yeah.
ideas.
Yeah.
So yeah, but
Yeah.
thank you guys so much. That's unfortunately all we had planned for today. Do join the Discord if you haven't already. We will always be discussing with each other and planning future events, and we will look to hear your ideas for how to go forwards with the streaming. And also, if you have any interest in the games, just ask a question, and we have a lot of runners and other people interested to help you out. Holidays are coming up pretty fast, so I do wish you all a very speedy holiday season. And if you are interested in Demon Souls running, or are a runner already, do consider signing up for the tournament that will be mid-January next year. Thank you so much, guys, and we'll be signing off.